Okay, so we're putting wheels on our Pinewood Derby cars here. I'm going to walk you through the process of the way that I have my students do this in the car, or in the class. Step one is to figure out where you want to put your wheels. So you have to locate the location where you want to put your wheels. Right now, we're going to put this right here where I already have a line right there. In the back, if you want your car to go fast, what I have learned is that you want your back wheels to be 3/4 of an inch behind wherever it balances. That's there's some information out there about that being the best place. So I'm going to go ahead and do that here. It has something to do with the weight distribution and so forth. If you are adding lead weight to this thing, which we might do on Monday, that might screw things up for you a little bit in terms of that. But ideally, you're going to have your car about 3/4 of an inch, your wheels about 3/4 of an inch behind where it balances. Okay? So I've got a couple locations, one here and one here. You're going to want to start out by drawing a very square line where you want those wheels. So I'm going to put the wheels here, and I'm going to put the wheels here. Okay, and they need to be square. If you want your car to go fast on the Pinewood Derby car track, you need your car to roll straight. As a general rule. There are fancy ways of making your car go fast. There are rail riders, if you want to look that up on the internet. There are some people who lift one wheel on the front up off the track, so there's less friction because there are only 3 wheels on the track. There are different tricks you can do to make your car go fast. But I'll tell you the story of one of my students in the past who really wasn't getting her work done. And she was just wasting a lot of time, was just sitting around a lot. And the day came when we were doing the races, and I was like, I'm just done. Just give me your car. I drilled it with a drill press. I went pop, 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 put 4 wheels on it, sent her outside. I don't have time to deal with this. Her car beat every single kid all day long. It just killed everybody all day. And the reality is that car, which was not particularly heavy, just rolled so straight that it just zoomed down the track every single time all day long. So what you do with your wheels will definitely make a difference in terms of how your car behaves on the track. If your car is bouncing down the track, pop, 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 it's hitting the rail every second because it's bouncing back and forth. It's slowing it down as it goes down the track. You want your car to roll straight. So step one, you got to make sure these lines, the lines that I'm about to cut on this thing are very square to the car. You also need to make sure that you're cutting somewhere where you're going to be able to cut down at least a full 1/8 of an inch deep into the car and not cut through your car, just in case your car is kind of skinny. I'm going to have the cameraman scooch around this way, so you guys kind of scooch back that way. Kind of aim down here, just because I'm right-handed and I know that it's going to make more sense right here. I'm going to take my 3 fingers, because I'm right-handed, so I hold my saw with my right hand. I'm going to put them right here. I'm going to put this on that line, and I'm basically using my fingers to guide my saw on that line. I'm moving real carefully and real slowly right now. I'm going to slowly create a groove. Being very careful to try to make sure it's very straight, very squared off of the car. Now that I've got a bit of a groove, I can move a little faster. And the more of a groove I've got, and the more my saw is following along in that groove, the more aggressive I can be as I cut down about 1/8 of an inch. Now, do not cut down into my table here. Make sure you're using the square. Now, the other one was here. Now, I clearly moved a little faster than you should. Just be aware of that. You should take a little bit more time than I do. I've done this before. So we've got to cut here and we've got to cut here. I'm going to take a pencil. You could use a ruler or measuring, but I'm going to use my fingers to kind of create a line here to make a consistent height. So I have a location for each of my wheels. If I did what I just did well, then if I put my axles on all 4 of these spots, the car should roll straight and all the wheels should be the same. Like I said, you might get away with a little bit of extra speed if you take one of your wheels and you lift it up slightly. Now, I've taken up actual Pinewood Derby car axle and I ground off the head of it and I put them in these drills. So at this point, I want you to actually put this in the vise. And that's actually going to help because it's going to help it be real straight up and down. You're going to put your nail on there right where you want it. And you're going to make sure you're not drilling at some weird angle like this or like this. In terms of, it should drill straight with your cut, but you could definitely screw things up by going at an angle like this or an angle like that. So you really want to try to make sure you're drilling nice and straight. And you're just going to drill the hole, which is going to be precisely, I'm going to stop talking so I can try to make sure I do this well. It's going to be precisely the right size because that's an actual Pinewood Derby car axle. Should have put this in a little tighter. This is where I remind you about the wearing loosely fitting ragged clothing, long sleeves, or any gloves while operating in a machine is extremely dangerous because it's going to get caught in the moving parts of the machine. That's a question on the safety exam. I'm mostly worried about your hair. Young ladies with the hair getting caught in the drill is not going to be a huge drama, but it is a drama. Okay. So now I'm going to take this, I'm going to put it through there. I'm going to put it inside here. Do the same thing with the other one. And you really should not do this a lot. Don't take it on, put it on, take it off, put it on, take it off, put it on, because you'll loosen things up. You push straight down onto the wheel like that and you let go. You'll notice there's a little bit of empty void right here, and that's going to make it spin. If you take this and you tap it in, the wheel doesn't spin anymore, does it? So, pushing straight down like that should give you a nice clearance to be able to make your car spin. Last two wheels and then we're done with the video. Put that on here. This on here. And the car should roll really pretty straight. Now, I should be able to tap it and it should roll straight, but clearly it's moving slightly to the right. On Monday, I will have the track set up out front, so you're going to be able to put it on there and then try to make tweaks if you want to. Actually, it looks like maybe, actually I can see it. You need to be more careful. This is not quite square. See how it's slightly that direction? Which explains why when I push this thing, it always wants to go left. Okay, so I'm telling you, it's very important that these are perpendicular with your sides. All right, there's your video for the day.